The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storylines with Nick Eatman.
What is up? It is time for Cowboys Storyline. It's Thursday, September 28th. I'm Nick Eatman here, and then let's roll here for another, let's say, 40, 45 minutes. We do have Mike McCarthy's press conference today. We're going to have to go just a tad shorter than normal, but that's okay. We can still get a lot of calls in, a lot of questions. Make sure and call us 888-855-2297. You can text at 817-290-3298. Let's talk some Cowboys football. Cowboys and Patriots this Sunday, 3:25 at AT&T Stadium. It's been a long time since the Cowboys have defeated the Patriots at home. I think Bill Parcells was the coach for the Patriots last time that happened, 1996. Now, obviously, they don't play every year, or sometimes every 8 years, really, when you're talking about the Patriots coming to Dallas. But still, with Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, it's been tough to beat those guys. The Cowboys did win the last time that they played them in New England. But let's see if they can get the win. And, of course, Ezekiel Elliott coming back into town. He talked some this week. Yesterday, had a story on the website from Patrick Walker about his emotional return. Also have a story about Tony Pollard and, saying, he's leading the NFL right now in carries. So he's kind of showing that, hey, I'm built for this as well. I can handle the heavy workload. But let's see how the season progresses. It's one thing to do it for 3 weeks. Let's see how you continue to do it. So it should be fun with Zeke coming back into town, Bill Belichick, the Patriots trying to get to 2-2. Cowboys certainly don't want to be at 2-2. They want to turn this around and get a win. Injuries are going to be a big key this week. Zach Martin, I think, has a shot to play. Tyler Biadasz, it might be a little tougher there at center for him. Tyron Smith, we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if he does not play this game. So there may be some moving parts on the offensive line. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's just start this thing off here. Darian in Houston, first caller. Darian, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Nick? How's it going, man?
How are you?
Good, man. Good, man. Just chilling here at the house. Appreciate you taking my call these last couple of days, man. It's been awesome.
I appreciate you calling. I mean, especially being the first one out of the box.
Out of the gate, yes, sir. Look, man, I just want to brag on you guys. I ran into Derek outside of AT&T before the Panthers game back in 21 and called for him from a distance. He had to kind of double take to make sure it was him I was calling for. And I asked for a picture with him. He looked all taken back that I even asked for a photo. We love the work y'all do. Also, I'm flying to the Monday night game against the Chargers at SoFi. It'll be my first road game, so maybe I'll run into you guys there.
Oh yeah. Well, let's put some air quotes around road game. All right, for that.
No,
because it won't. Trust me, it won't be. It won't feel or sound like one. Now, neither did Sunday against Arizona, and that didn't really seem to matter. But
right.
Yeah, the Chargers at home. They're the third best team in their own city for their fans.
Well, the Niners showed out more than the Rams fans did, and they live 3.5 hours away. So
yeah, well, the Niners have done that to lots of teams and lots of places. What do you got? What's on your mind?
Oh man, dude, Pats has two big, strong backs. I think they'll try to really run on us to start the game. How can we better stop it this week? And have you heard anything on Mozzie Smith? Is his development not going as planned? I know it takes a minute for DTs to develop. Just wanted to know what you've seen regarding his play time and maybe some of the stuff at practice.
Yeah,
I know he's really strong and he was a good player at Michigan. Hopefully he rounds out by the end of the season, and he should because he's got an ass. I'll hang up and listen.
Nice. I'm never going to live that one down. Still don't know exactly which player I was even referring to there. Mozzie Smith, 12 snaps, I think, this last game. And I think, that you're expecting a little bit more from that from your first round pick. It's a rotational position. We understand that. But, he's still developing. He's still trying to kind of figure out where he fits into this defense, and also, just playing in the NFL. Yes, he's strong, but, there's more to it, obviously, than that. And so, but they need him. They need that type of player to kind of shore up the middle. If you can stop that in the middle, then you're forcing teams to go to the outside. That's where the Cowboys' speed will kick into play. That's where they're fast linebackers. They can chase the ball. But if you are just running right up the middle and you really don't have an answer for that, then that's going to be a problem. I think the Cowboys have to figure out their fits, figure out where their defensive tackles are lined up with the linebackers as well. Also have to keep containment there. I mean, Micah Parsons, those guys have to do a little bit better job on making sure that the quarterback doesn't sneak out, the running backs don't sneak out on the outside. So that's going to be the key right there, is making sure that the Cowboys just stop the run. I mean, that is going to be a problem, and you're right, the Patriots are going to try to run the ball. As for Derek not taking a picture, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen Derek really do that a whole lot. Fans will stop us every now and again. You take a photo, but yeah, I mean, he's not above it. I don't know if I've seen that. If you told him you were from Houston, he probably would, because that's obviously where he is from as well. All right, let's go to a text message from Doug. He's from Fargo, North Dakota, now living in Florida. Much big change there. The Patriots have me nervous after watching their games. At the season start, I counted this as a win, thinking New England was not very good this year. Tight ends, running backs are much better than I expected. 2 weak areas for our team. Your thoughts on being able to defend those two positions, and any good Marion Barber stories? Let's talk about the running backs and tight ends. I mean, that's why Belichick's always kind of had it. He rotates those running backs. He's always had different guys, but they're always pretty big, strong guys. That he's he can get it done there. And tight ends, of course, when he had Gronk, he had those guys. I believe Hunter Henry now is a tight end for him. So they try to have safe throws for their quarterback. They try to let the other guys do the work. Mike Jones is not going to go up and down the field. I saw a stat the other day that when he throws 35 or more passes, they're 1-9. So they don't want to get into a throwing contest with Mac Jones, and most quarterbacks kind of are the same way. I mean, when you're having to throw a lot, that probably means that you're behind and you're not going to win. But that is something the Cowboys have to watch out for, because New England does like to play sort of an inside out type of scheme, which is going to put the Cowboys in harm's way if they don't stop the run and make sure that the gaps are filled and contained also on the outside. Marion Barber stories. Let me think about that one a little bit. I mean, obviously a lot come to mind, but I'll never forget in 2008. It was he had just made the Pro Bowl in 2007, and he was really starting to be the Barbarian and all that. And I think I could have the guy's name wrong. I think the linebacker's name was like Terrius George or something like that. He beat Marion Barber on a one-on-one drill in practice at Oxnard. Beat him on a drill. You know how that happens. Everybody starts yelling and all that. Oh, you beat the Barbarian and all that. Yeah, Marion didn't like that. So about a few plays later, he made sure and evened it out and made sure that the guy went up against them again. And he didn't beat him on this drill. In fact, he got carried off by the trainers on that. Marion got underneath him, put his head underneath him, and blocked him, and basically knocked him out. And so he didn't win that drill, or probably any more drills the rest of the day. And so that was one of those mentalities of Marion, is like, okay, you got me, but you won't again. And that he played that way. Just an outstanding player to watch, fun player to watch. Obviously, other factors involved with his life, and obviously a tragic end to his life, and but as a player, and a player that you admired, I mean, he was certainly a fan favorite by the way that he played the game, for sure. All right, let's go to the next caller, Lucky Wilson in Indiana or Indianapolis.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I just wanted to make a statement first. I'm still mad at Patrick Creighton for dropping that ball in the playoffs against the Giants. But I wanted to ask you about the Patriots DBs, and do you think we'll see any downfield throws this game?
Let me ask you though: how far do you think Patrick Creighton is running on that play? There's always a debate there. I
just wanted him to catch the ball.
It would have been a first down. 100% would have been a first down.
I just wanted the first down because after that we punted the ball.
Yeah.
They got the excellent field position and we lost the game.
Yeah.
So I just wanted him to catch. He didn't have to score a touchdown. I just wanted him to catch the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't have scored a touchdown, but you're right. He would have caught it. We're only talking about a game 16 years ago. I mean, I understand. Hey, it happens. It happens. There's some plays that I'm still kind of upset about that happened like in the 90s and 80s. It certainly happens. I'll get over it one day, but maybe. Patriots, Steve, thanks for the call, Lucky. I appreciate that. And I love that. I just love the fact that fans. That's what fans are. You know what I mean? Like you still kind of think about certain plays. And the Giants won the Super Bowl that year, and the Cowboys probably. I mean, they were a better team than the Giants, but they weren't that day. They weren't able to get them blocked that day. But if Creighton catches that ball, first down, probably closer to midfield, and then that could have changed the whole game. But as for his question, I think the Cowboys, they need to throw the ball down the field a little bit more. Now they have to make sure that they get it blocked up front. You can't just stand in the pocket and throw it deep. But I think they need to figure out some ways to take some shots down the field early. That's what we talked about yesterday on yesterday's show with Danny McCray. Sometimes taking some shots sends a message, whether or not you complete it or not. But it also can move some of the safeties back a little bit. I think that would help a little bit. Dak likes to throw it underneath. He likes guys like Cooks crossing the field, tight ends as well. You throw the ball deep a little bit to Gallup, CD, push them back some. It should kind of soften up that middle a little bit. All right, let's go to the phone line again. Albert in Tucson, Arizona. Albert, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
First time calling the show,
Yeah.
but I've been a avid reader, listener since you guys started in the early 2000s. And thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Do you think, in watching these past couple games, this, I guess they call it the big nickel, right? Their defense, their shell defense.
Right.
Do you think, and the NFL has kind of already figured it out how to beat it? Because if you look at the Cardinal game, those big plays, those big runs were, I think they were more them beating the defense than error, except for that one big pass where he caught 60 or 70 some yards wide open. Yeah, but do you think the NFL is caught up to this scheme? And two, I think you got yesterday. Rob called and he talked about Dak, and you felt a certain way. You could tell it in your tone of voice. But let's be honest. When does the clock start for Tyron Smith? We have his replacement on our team.
Who do you think that is? Tyler?
Tyler Smith, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's played great. He had the knock on him as far as the penalties, but I mean, let's be honest. What he's done is above and beyond that. And this our front office had the chance to get the replacement in the guard. And second, I mean, I hate to say this now, and I know it's only one loss, but how about Dak? I mean, when does that clock start on Dak? I think he's hit his peak. I think he's hit his ceiling, and he's going to give us. That's it. I mean, with that interception is Dak the last 3 years, not Dak the first part, but definitely Dak the last 3 years. And I think I speak for a lot of Cowboys Nation. But anyway, thank you for what you're doing. Appreciate it. Go Cowboys.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I think I speak for a lot of Cowboys Nation that says that he's not. That he hasn't hit the peak, that he could be better, that he is good enough to go there. Now, you're right. There are a lot of people that feel your way, and they feel this way this week. They maybe didn't feel it as much last week. That's what happens in sports. This is the best roller coaster you could ever go on. Six Flags has nothing on being a Cowboy fan to go up, down, loops, round, backwards. You think it's over, now it starts again. That's what this is. And I get it. You want to be frustrated with Dak? Fine. He shouldn't have made that throw. That throw is what's bothering a lot of people. He didn't lose that game this week. I don't believe that. They needed to play better. But I mean, I've heard all the stuff, and you know, it's funny how the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is the defense is getting somewhat of a pass. And I hear this, that, you know, Trayvon was out. Well, Trayvon's not coming back. He's not coming back. So not this year. So they're going to have to figure that out. So what you saw in that game is, I mean, what's going to be different coming forward? I'd like to think the offensive line is going to look a lot different for Dak and the offense the next few weeks. So I'm not talking about excuses, but it just does seem like the defense got a little bit of a pass because they had to deal with Trayvon being out. You know, that happened on Thursday, and Thursday's when the domino effect started on the offensive line. Hey, if you want to think that about Dak, fine. The difference is that the Cowboys don't really feel this way, and it's not as easy as you think to just say we're going to move on from that. It's a tough decision because the way the league is set up, the way timing is that they have to make some of these decisions. Do you want to just pull the plug on this and just say we're moving on? I don't think they want to do that. I think they're trying to build around Dak. That's what they've tried to do, and they're, you know, I think they are committed to him until something drastically different happens, and I don't think we've seen that yet. As for Tyron Smith, the clock's been ticking on that. If that's the analogy you want to use, Tyler Smith, you know, here's my thing on that. I want to see where his best position is. I've seen it at tackle. I want to see what it is. Is it guard? Because if his best position is guard, I'm playing him at guard. That's the way that I would view it. I don't think everyone feels that way. They want to make sure that left tackle spot is solidified. But if he's a good left tackle in a great left guard, I'm playing him at guard. And I think you can debate. You can find a lot of people that will debate that argument. But Larry Allen could play tackle. He did play tackle. He was a better guard. Zach Martin is a better guard. He can play tackle. But I want to play the guy at a position where I think he's great. When I see this team get to the red zone and they get stopped at the 9-yard line, I want to see Tyler Smith out there inside at guard. Now, he was last week. I think he'll be better as he keeps getting better. You know, with the injury. But I think that from a strength standpoint, I like having some beef on the inside as well. Keep that middle. You can see Dak can make some moves on when guys are coming from the outside. We saw it last week. From the inside, a little bit tougher to do that. So, all right, let me get back to the callers. Chris, if we have a caller on the line, you can just throw him out there. We have another call? Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Nick?
How's it going?
Great. Harry from Edison.
All right, thank you. My computer locked up on me, so I couldn't tell what it was. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I love the show. Hey, I'm coming out from New Jersey to the game this weekend.
All right.
So my question is, I am a fan of Zeke's, but how much do you think the home crowd is going to cheer for Zeke? And you know, should they every run? Are they going to, do the Zeke chant?
No.
And my second,
they cheer one time. He gets a 14-yard run and starts doing the I'm ready to eat thing. Then now, you know, they'll start blaming Jerry for letting him go and all that kind of stuff. They'll do that, but no, I don't think they'll be cheering for Zeke more than just, you know, hey, miss you. Hope you're doing well. Don't kill us today.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, all right, thank you. I love the show. And
right.
Hey, what's your favorite barbecue place in the area there?
Oh man, there's like a 26-way tie for that. Thank you for the call. I got to be careful. I'm not sure if we even have a barbecue sponsor. I think we do, maybe. So I got to be careful with that.
I figured. No problem, man.
But there's my favorite spots are the ones where it's like the place is about to fall down. You know what I mean? And it's it's smoke coming from the outside, and you got the guy. It's like Pete's barbecue, Pete's in the back slicing it up, and his wife is the one serving tea. Those are the ones that I like. Those joints that have been around for like 70 years. Love those.
The hole in the walls.
Right. And you can find
Nick.
those.
Have a great day.
All right, have a good one. Have a good trip down here. Let's go to here goes a text message from Casey Blackburn, Spartanburg, South Carolina. I'm going way back to the early 2000s. Did you host the Jason Witten show on DallasCowboys.com? I think you did. I did not. I don't remember that show, honestly. I don't remember. If there was a show on DallasCowboys.com with the Jason Witten show, I would have liked to be the one host. I wish I did. I don't recall us having that show. That would have been cool if we did. And he might have done some shows. He might have done something, a night radio show or whatever. But just like a weekly regular show.
When we were on the ticket.
Are you live,
yes,
Chris?
I'm live right now. So when we were on the ticket, Jason Witten had the show that would probably take the audio and put on DallasCowboys.com.
I did not. Thank you. I did not know that.
The same thing we do now with Zach Martin.
All right. Chris, that's Chris being there. I definitely did not do that show on the radio. But would be cool if we could do something like that now. What we did was Tuesday night at the ranch. That's when we first started, myself, Mickey. And then at some point, I guess it was 19 years ago, about 2004 or so, that's when Derek and I started doing the break just by ourselves. And that thing has evolved, and now we're, nine podcasts later. All right, let's go to Al in Merkel, Texas. Al, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I wish I was better. I've had flu type A for the second time in 40 days.
Not good. Sorry about that.
No. Oh, you're fine. Hey, I have a question about our defense, and you might have already answered it with a caller a few before me, but do you really believe that people have found a way to scheme to the defense that Dan Quinn has, or is it more of a problem with our discipline and our players not staying in their gaps and doing what they're supposed to, or a combination? I've just been listening to DallasCowboys.com and other people that truly know about football and care about football, people like WWW, ESPN. But that's my question. Is it A, B, or combination?
Well, I mean, thanks for the call. I hope you feel better there, Al. I think that there's going to be, we're going to find this out a little bit. I mean, it's one game. It was a weird game that happened. Thanks for the call, Al. But I do think that over the time here of the next couple of games, we're going to find out if teams have really figured out the Cowboys. I don't think that they have yet, and they still have to figure out how to block Micah Parsons consistently. And so if that happens on a week-to-week basis, then I think you can say that. But right now I'm going to go with, it was one game. They're figuring out how to play without Trayvon Diggs, and and that didn't lead to 222 rushing yards. But I still think that they're still trying to figure out some things on what they need to do on that end. All right, let's move to. Let's take a break, actually. Let's take a break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back. We'll take some more phone calls and more texts. We'll be right back on Storyline.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole made with real Hass avocados will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouthwatering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Cowboys Storylines.
Welcome back to Cowboys Storyline here, the second half of the show. So, had some good callers so far. Already talking a little bit about Dak and this offensive line and the defense. Can the defense shore it up? And you know, I mean, those are good questions. I think that's why they play 17 games, just so you can so you get a better sample size of what this looks like. You know, we've seen some games in the past where just like, what was that? You know, and it was just kind of fluky. Maybe it starts a trend. Maybe it doesn't. So one thing that you can see about this team is, you know, they've been a pretty good football team for the last 2.5 seasons now. So, you know, and they've bounced back from losses pretty well. So we'll see if they can do that. If the focus is here this week, I'm thinking that it will be. You've got one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time coming into town. So if the Cardinals can scheme things up to beat you like they did, you know New England can as well. So got to be ready for it. All right, let's go to the phone line. We got William in West Virginia. William, what's up, man?
Hey, Nick, good to hear from you. I love the show. It's great.
Thank you so much, man. One of my favorite Cowboy fans of all time, man. How you doing?
I appreciate that. It means a lot. You're one. We've come a long way from Tuesday night chance at the ranch. I love it. It's great. Just go get better, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My question. My favorite classic player of all time is Harvey Martin.
Okay.
My question. Senator, I don't know if you remember. A long time ago, you had a question on the show. If anybody remembered, who got 5 sacks in one game, and I remember it was Jim Jeffcoat against the Redskins. Because I remember Joe Theismann saying, "Hey, I thought Harvey Martin retired. I didn't know who that guy was over there, but he knew who Jeffcoat was after that day."
Definitely.
And my second question is about Damone Clark. Do you think that have you seen him make a nice progression from year one, where he was kind of struggling with coming back from the injury? Have you seen he seems like he's moving better to me. I was just wondering what your take was on him.
All right, appreciate that. My Damone Clark, and thanks for the call, William. Damone Clark, I think we're still trying to get him to that level of what he was in college, and that's for a lot of young players. I mean, that's typically the way it works. He still hasn't played a full season in the NFL. He came in halfway through last year, didn't think he was even going to play. So that was kind of the cherry on top. I still think he's recognizing things is still kind of a challenge for him, because once you see it, you'll be able to play faster. He's still, I think, in that process. He had eight tackles in the game the other day. I'll be honest, I didn't remember a lot of them. I do think there were some times he had trouble getting off blocks. So he's still, to me, in a progress. But I think he's got all the tools. He's a big, strong, fast guy. He's going to be a good player. I think he stays next to Leighton Vander Esch. He's going to be a really, really good player. All right. As for Harvey Martin, Harvey Martin, he was great. I didn't really I followed him a little bit, when I was really young. He was kind of at the end of his career. Heard a lot of great stories, and you talk to people that have been around for a long time, and they think which player deserves to be in the Ring of Honor the most that isn't. I mean, Harvey Martin's name gets up there a lot. He was the all-time leader in sacks until DeMarcus Ware came in. So yeah, I mean, he would be a guy I think you need to throw in there, at least into the consideration. I mean, Everson Walls would be one for me. I know Cornell Green gets mentioned some. Maybe Charlie Waters. You just from that era, and then when you start getting into some of the some of the guys here in the last few years, that's happening as well. DeMarcus Ware, I mean, obviously that is going to happen this year. A Seattle game, I believe. But yeah, I mean, I'm Witten, Tony Romo. I can imagine that happened. But Harvey Martin certainly is a guy that they could throw in the mix there. All right, James in Midland, Texas. James, what's up, man? James, you there? All right. Let's move to another guy. Let's go to David in Fort Worth.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
David, what's up, man?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Hey, I just wanted to touch on the defense. I remember calling after the New York Giants game, and I said, don't get too high on the defense, don't get too low on the offense. And I just want to maybe remind people the same thing about this time, like don't get too low on the defense. I mean, defenses have bad games. Let's hope that they don't try to. I hope that they don't try to overcorrect. Because we really don't know who this defense is yet. You know what I mean? I feel like they're going to go back, watch the film, read their keys, and then come back and be that defense that we believe that they could be, and I hope that they are. I also wanted to touch on I'm looking forward to this Christian Gonzalez versus CeeDee Lamb matchup. Christian Gonzalez is a local kid. I think I heard Brian Bottas talking about him. He's a pretty good corner, man, a young guy. I want to see how he matches up against CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully Lamb eats his lunch. If I may, I wanted to talk about Tyron. A lot of people have been talking about Tyron in your show the last couple of weeks, And I just from what I'm seeing from my uneducated eye, when he's out there, he's still the GOAT, man. He's still really, really good. His problem has always been staying healthy, but when you got something that good, you don't just throw it away. You ride it until the wheels fall off, until he can't go no more, And I don't think that's that time just yet. I think he's still got a lot. And then my last thing, really quick, my favorite Marion Barber thing is what a lot of people probably remember is the greatest 2-yard run of all time. I think it was in 2007 against the Patriots when he broke I may be wrong, but I think it was 647 tackles. Yeah. And he got 2 yards. Yeah. So I just wanted to be real quick, man. I appreciate you taking my call, and I hope you have a great day.
All right. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. A lot of stuff there. Yeah, the Marion Barber 2-yard run. We mentioned that, and we did a documentary this past month on the 2005 draft class. It's just called Class of 2005. We got to sit down. Kevin Burnett, DeMarcus Ware, Marcus Spears also interviewed Chris Canty, and they talked about Marion Barber as well. It was a really nice tribute, I thought, to Marion, and they did mention they thought the greatest 2-yard run of all time in that New England game, which with us playing New England, maybe we should show that. Maybe we should get a good opportunity to throw that back out there. Christian Gonzalez, rookie from he's from the Colony, Texas, which is a place very close to where I live, in the Colony. But he's gone up against Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Garrett Wilson. I mean, he's for the first 3 games, he's a player that is catching people's eyes like, oh, this could be Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's played really well. And those are the guys that he's already had to face. So he's answered the challenge right off the bat, and so that's exciting for him. And I know Patriot fans are excited about the way he is. So that's going to be a good matchup too. And like you said about the defense, we're still trying to figure out what they are now, because what they were week 1 and 2 was an aggressive defense with arguably one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, and then a lot of good pass rushers behind him. Solid linebackers, and then one of the best cover corners in the NFL, and a big group of safeties as well. Well, now one of those is gone, and Trayvon Diggs. So now you've got good corners. Stephon Gilmore has been really great in his career. I think he's really good right now. Deron Bland's getting to that stage as well. So they have to figure out how to play like this. That first game against Arizona was not, hopefully for them, not indicative of how things are going to be. All right, Kent in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Kent, what's up?
Hey, morning, Nick. I called in a couple of weeks ago. You guys were talking about our expectations for the season, and I said I felt like anything short of a Super Bowl was going to be a bust. And then they gave us a lack of discipline in Arizona and got my expectations back in order, I guess. My biggest concern this week is what are they doing for the offensive line, and how limited are we going to be on our play calling?
It's a good question. I mean, I think the offensive line, I think it has to be a little bit limited. I think you do need to scale it back in some ways. You got to make sure that the offensive line is capable of being comfortable out there. I mean, that's what they need to do is when they make the calls, don't overextend what these guys can or cannot do. And so I think it'll be a little bit different. Even if the same guys are out this week, I think it'll be different just from the simple standpoint of these guys are getting more practice reps. They weren't just thrown into it. It was a mess just being on the field 30 or an hour before the game, trying to figure out who's playing, who's not playing. Is Tyron out there? Is he going to go? And I think that it was kind of a whirlwind in the 24 hours leading up to the game on what's going to happen with the offensive line. They moved the ball pretty well, but they did have some breakdowns. So I do think that it'll be better for them if it's a situation where they're practicing a little bit more. All right, let's go to the calls again here. We've got Camille in Texarkana, Texas. Camille, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You sound a lot like somebody I know, man.
No.
Yeah, you do. You sound like my mother, actually. Oh, this is one of those moments right here.
Yep.
This is my mother
Yep.
right here, Camille. I don't call her that. I call her Mom. So, Mom, what did I do something wrong? What happened?
No.
I mean, I took out the trash. I've done everything I'm supposed to do. What happened?
Well, I just want to let you know I love your show.
Thank you.
And I've been following you for years and years and years and years.
Same.
And,
I've been following you as well. Thank you.
And I love your books and your articles. I read them all. But I do have a question for you.
Okay.
And you might have already answered this already, but who did not play last week that we were missing that is healthy enough to come back this week? Who are we going to see in the lineup?
All right. Is there anything else? I wouldn't ever want to just cut you off and say thanks for the call. So is there anything else?
I miss seeing you, and
All
hope
right.
the family's doing great.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. That is my mother, Camille, from Texarkana, Texas. That's a good question. I mean, I think Zach Martin has the best chance of the guys that did not play last week. Tyler Biadasz, I still think's a little bit away, but we'll find out today. Today's a kind of a big day. It's just Thursday. It was a big day last week for wrong reasons. Let's maybe they kind of lessen the intensity a little bit in practice. That's when Biadasz got hurt last week, and of course, that's when Trayvon Diggs got hurt. But I think Zach Martin probably has the best chance. But I will feel better about answering that once we see practice later today. So I don't know about you guys, but I mean, my number one fan has always been my mom. I mean, always, and so that doesn't change. I remember when I first started working for the Cowboys. I was writing articles, and she would print them out and put them in a folder. And that was like 2 or 3 a day. And she's like, here are the articles. And I'm like, I don't know what, if the ink cartridges are going to hold up here, because I'm going to be doing this for a while. Like, you want to keep printing out? Like, that's great. But like, it's going to, and then we started losing games, and she printed out, Cowboys fall to the Eagles. And so she's like, I think I'm changing that. All right, let's go back. Let's try this again. James in Midland. James, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Nick? Great show, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling back.
All right. Yeah, I lost connection a while ago. But I wanted to say I've been a Cowboys fan since I could walk, since back in the 70s. And the last championships, the 92 season, the 93 season, and the 95 season, I had kids those years, but don't expect me to have any more so that we can win Super Bowls. But the thing I want to say is that I'm past the Cardinals game, because that was just an anomaly in the season, and I feel like it was something that the team really needed, because I believe that everybody had started drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that, that the team just had to get on the field and just show up and they could beat anybody. But they had to realize that the Cardinals have professional players on their team that get paid as well.
Right.
And they couldn't just show up and win. But I think the kick in the toe for them that will wake them up and let them realize you have to be prepared. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope you have a good show.
Thank you.
And go Cowboys.
Thank you, James. If that wasn't a wake-up call, then you're gonna stay asleep forever. I mean, that has got to be something that game just to realize that you're right. I mean, Arizona can beat you, and not only beat you, but they outplayed you. They outcoached them. They outplayed them. They out-schemed them. That's what it was. And so you can't just roll the ball out and say, well, we're going to win because we've got, Micah Parsons and you've got Dak and this, CeeDee Lamb. You can't do that. And that was a good indication of that. So I'd like to see how they respond. Like I said earlier, they have typically responded well. We haven't seen 2 losses in a row really since I think 2020 season. So I expect McCarthy to have him ready this week. All right, last caller here, G in New Jersey. G, what's up, man?
What's up, Nick? Listen, man, putting Arizona game behind us, I do think the boys will come out rolling this week. It's going to be a good game because I do think New England has a way. They have the GOAT at coaching with Belichick, and, defensively they'll be ready. We know that for sure.
Right.
But I do have a point, Nick. I want to get this. I spoke to you guys a few weeks ago, and I said speed on offense. This might be the best team speed that we have offensively in a long time. But I do think we're lacking speed on defense, right? Like if we watch the game, you can notice that Gilmore and Leighton Vander Esch are slow on the field. I want to know what you think about that. And I also want to know what you think about, up front, I'm tired of musical chairs on the offensive line, right? Would you consider, if you were in a position, sliding Tyler back over to tackle, putting Edoga at guard, and making Tyron, who's always hurt, the swing tackle going forward so that we can preserve his health? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. The thing about Tyron is, I think they're going to try, if he's healthy to play, I think he's going to try to, they're going to try to make him a starter because I still think that he's a really good player when he's out there. I don't know all of the details regarding his injury right now, but I do think that there's some talk about everything's on the table. I think Tyler I think he's probably a really good guard. But I think he can play tackle as well. And I think the difference between him at tackle and guard is not as great as the difference of Chuma Edoga at guard and tackle. I think he's more of a guard. I'm not sure TJ Bass isn't a better guard either. So it comes down to your 5 best linemen. It always has. I know that's cliche, but it's true. It does come down to the 5 best linemen that can work together the best. And so I think, if they can get Tyron healthy, then I think Tyron and Tyler Smith on the left side is your best combination. But if he's not, then I think they probably will move Tyler Smith eventually back to left tackle and then figure out one of the guards at Chuma or TJ Bass. As for team speed, speed it matters on all sides of the ball, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that. On the defensive side, but it's also about awareness, figuring that out. Damone Clark could probably run, just as fast as any of these guys out there. But sometimes when when it comes to awareness, you've got to figure that out. Leighton Vander Esch, the same thing. I think Leighton's fast enough to make plays. If you're looking at the Rondale Moore touchdown, that was perfectly schemed away from him, and he's not going to chase that running back. He's not going to chase a lot of those speedy running backs, but. Arizona did a nice job on that play. Let's just see. Let's see how it goes. If they're really lacking speed, they've moved around very fast the first 2 games. The third one, kind of flat-footed a little bit. Let's see if that's a trend. Obviously, we hope that it is not. All right, let's go. Let's finish this show because we do have a Mike McCarthy press conference. Will be going now. Also, Cowboys break here in a few minutes. They will go at 11 o'clock. So we will see you guys tomorrow. On Friday, we'll talk and make some predictions here on the Cowboys and the Patriots. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. We'll see you tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!